So there you go, plow install on this Outlander. Hi, Craig from Flat Out Motorsports. What are we doing today? Well, first off, we have this beautiful Can-Am 850 Outlander, and we're going to put on a plow, a mount, and push tubes. But I think what's important is anybody can kind of find that, it's the interpretations of these instructions. Now, some fancy engineers have put all this stuff together, and they're going to try to tell me what step I need to start and how I need to start that. So I think what we'll do is we're just going to try to break it down just for the common man, try to figure out where do we start, how do we do it, how do we get there. I think that'll be the best part of this. Okay, step number one, they want us to change the winch guide, which is what this is. We're going to put a new one on that they provided there. According to the instructions, it should be easy peasy lemon squeezy. If we run into any issues, we'll be sure to tell you. Here's the old one. Comes right off there. Then the instructions say, put it on there. Big one goes on the bottom because it's going to support all the weight. This does not go through there. This video is brought to you by PartShark.com. Did you know that PartShark.com is the best place to buy your OEM parts and accessories? PartShark.com is committed to bringing you the lowest prices available with no hassles. They carry OEM parts, gear, and accessories from manufacturing brands like Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, and Polaris. So go check out PartShark.com or give them a call, 877-999-5686. Now back to the video, you filthy animals. All right, so I got the bolt out, so I got the roller to move just a little bit. There it goes, just enough clearance, but I can't mount the thing up here. I got to put the bolts back through because I don't have enough clearance to put my wrenches on here. So, it doesn't say anywhere in the instructions that I got to do this little ballet. So this is just stuff that you got to figure out along the way sometimes. So now we can put the new supplied bolts from the kit in here. And use your big gorilla hands to work back in here and put your new nuts on. All right, got it all on there. So now all we gotta do now is just reinstall our hook, our pin, and our cotter pin, and we can move on from there. Okay, so for the next step wanted us to jack it up. We jacked it up, got the wheels off, wheels are off. A-arm protectors, which are these little doodads right there. I need to remove those and then install a template to make some cuts and adjustments so everything else goes back together. So let's get these off there and we'll move on. I need a colder floor. Don't lose my stuff. There. And wedgie. Pop it off there. Boom. So there are the A-arm protectors. So now we just gotta figure out what's next. All right, so as you can tell, made things look a little bit different here. We jacked the thing up a little bit higher so I can get some access underneath the belly on this. Put some jack stands in there. Just want to make it be a little bit safer. For those of you that are using the instructions.brp.com, good job. Scroll all the way to the bottom. Make sure that you get your templates printed off first because you never know what's going to happen to the internet. This way you've already got everything and you just keep moving forward. You don't want to tie the garage up. Some of these things need to be modified and we're going to make that happen. Jump right into it, get this thing squared away. Okay, I've got everything down, pulled away, so I feel pretty safe about poking some holes in this plastic underneath here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some tape, get the template, get it set where I need to go, and then I'll start knocking these holes out and get this thing handled. All right, got our template, got a little bit of tape on here. Use the ever wonderful electrical tape because it's for everything. Crawl under here, get it all taped up, poke some holes, jam on. So instead of just going hog wild with it, I like to put a couple of pilot holes in so that way my bit Has something to bite into. All right, so we got our holes in for our skid plate. Everything's the right diameter. I've made a mess, so I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. I'm gonna get the skid plate bolted back up to the bottom of the frame, and then we'll move on to putting the mounting bracket in, and then we'll jam along and get this thing wrapped up. All right, so gotta make a couple more little modifications on the rear of the transfer case. There's a bolt that goes all the way through there. You're gonna replace that with the 140 millimeter one. Goes in like so. And basically it mirrors on the other side. So this is what the bottom of the plow plate actually attaches to. But we got to get this out of here and get these plates in here. It says hand tighten. So everything's kind of loosey-goosey, and then we can tighten everything up at the end. So let's knock this out. It was at this moment I realized I had screwed up. How many times was I going to get called out on this? Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. All right, so we're just gonna shove this one nice and smoothly through here. I'd like to thank the engineers at Can-Am for throwing that new bolt in there. Guess they reckoned I was gonna need it. Got my nut for the other side, got my bracket, go put the bracket on the other side, tighten her down, finger tight, and then take the next step, start tightening everything down. Okay, so now that we got the brackets on, everything's kind of loose, that way you can kind of get some fitment dialed in. So now I'm going to install the bottom of the plate, got some lag bolts. Should just take me a few minutes. It's gonna be a little cumbersome, but we'll get her done. All right, real quick, we got this all lined up. I got the push bracket down here. Just snaps right in. Just gonna hook it up. Easy peasy. Can you do it? Yep. Film and pick it up. Yep. Okay, so now that we got that on, I'm gonna go ahead and put the tires on, jack it back up, pull the jack stands, set her back down, and then we'll get the plow out and start putting that together. Handle it. So the last little piece of this are the lower A-arm covers. There's a template for that as well. Just make sure you got the right model for your template. We've already got it all scribed on there. We just got to lose a little bit of meat on here so that way we have some clearance. Put these on right quick and then we'll move right on. All right, so there you go. We got a bunch of nuts and bolts, tension springs. Gonna go ahead and utilize the winch to pull the mount up. That way it kind of just helps you get your fingers up underneath there. Gonna start putting all the pieces and parts together. She should be good to go. So use the winch to lift everything up, get the holes all lined up. There's a spacer bushing. These are really important. This keeps everything nice and tight and straight. That way you don't have your plow flopping around. So gotta get these in, gotta go up underneath here to do this. So it's a little cumbersome, but you'll figure it out. And like so, nice and loose. And then just duplicate on the other side. Kind of leave everything a little bit loose. You don't want to over tighten anything just yet. Same thing other side, same bushing. Gotta go up underneath. There you go. I got those. Now you can tighten those down. Draw everything kind of tight. You're good. So still got to go up underneath to get everything tight. It's kind of awkward, but you could lift this up and stick it on a block or something like that. That might help, but I got enough clearance here. I should be good to go. Up next, tension springs. Put the tension where we need it, and then we can put our spacer blocks in. Spacer blocks, you can press forward on the spring, put some tension under it. She should lock right in there. Use your tighten her all down, and then we can move on. Get her done. So there you go, plow install on this Outlander 850 Can-Am did a pretty good job as far as the instructions go. There are a few things in there that we had to interpret, but other than that, it's no big deal. They did a really good job, so way to go, Can-Am.